Oh, maybe this is where we're supposed to be. Finely dressed woman, man in jacket, lady in golden mask. You guys are standing out by name as being different. A few nobles have gathered around an older man in a fine jacket. His eyes dart back and forth between them. I come from an honored dynasty. You can't... He keeps trying to approach someone, but they all recoil from him as if he were a leper. Ah. Lady in a golden mask. The mob's instigator, a lady in a golden mask, exclaims furiously, "Oh, listen to the songs of this poor wretch. He thinks that the bath they gave him makes him look like a nobleman." Upon noticing you, the crowd parts in a peevish voice. The woman drawls, "We ask that our celestial lord brand this peasant." Among the hushed crowd, you single out a young woman in a half mask and a gorgeous dress who is watching intently from the side. Explain to me what exactly is going on here. So we've got the man in jacket, who people are avoiding. But then there's also this woman in a half mask and a gorgeous dress. So yeah, they're thinking the man in jacket is a peasant. Explain to me what exactly is going on here. The lady in a golden mask curtsies gracefully. "Your celestial highness, we have exposed one of the imposters. There he is, the one in the jacket, still clinging to his facade. You ought to brand him quickly." The woman who has been keeping her distance now steps closer and whispers to you, "My celestial lord, I'm begging you to listen to me. The man is a member of a noble family. He is being slandered." If there is some goal to help people rise the ranks, then they might blame nobles so that the servants actually can move up to becoming nobles themselves. Let's look closely at the man. Address the young woman. "Why are you standing up for him?" Address the man. "What can you say in your defense?" Turn up to the crowd. Let's look closely at the man. Irlia has our highest perception. She's beating out even Cassia. That's weird. Look closely at the man. Succeeded. The old man is terrified. His hands are clutching an expensive cane, bearing an intricate family coat of arms. "Why are you standing up for him?" Finely dressed woman. She whispers quietly, "I'm just a commoner in a fancy dress, my lord. This man is my master. I know I'm supposed to be playing the part of a rich girl, but I've served many lords, you see, and Sir Timius is the only one who treats his servants with gentleness. I want to protect him from these cruel people." Address the man. "What can you say in your defense?" "My celestial lord knows how ruthless court intrigues can be. My family only recently attained its lofty status, and many here are opposed." He stutters, his teeth chattering in fear. "Are you aware that your servant is trying to protect you, Sir Timius?" The old man adjusts his mask in surprise. His eyes scan the crowd once again and rests on the finely dressed young woman. "That's Renka, my house servant. What is she... protecting me, you say? She has no idea what game she's got herself mixed up in. Forgive me, my girl." His lip quivers as he grips his cane more tightly and breathes in deeply before suddenly taking a step back. Man in jacket. "Here she is, the real imposter, the house girl Renka. She admitted it herself to the celestial lord." The old man spits and points his finger at Renka, who shrinks away in fear. "How could you scheme, even think of deceiving our supreme benefactor?" "Kai Morag." There's a burning indignation in the look Irliet gives the old man, her hand reaching for the blade hanging from her belt, but then she goes still for a moment, puzzlement etched onto her face before regaining its usual air of indifference. "Betrayal comes as naturally to you, monkey, as breathing. But it does not concern me. Continue rotting away in your dishonorable existence. I will have no part in it." Let's turn to the crowd. Their vulturous gazes shift to you in anticipation of your verdict. Do you truly believe this man is a commoner in disguise? This man is a noble. Why are you so intent on painting him as otherwise? I'm ready to brand the imposter. I mean, the girl, Renka, seems to be the actual servant, but she also seems to be a really good person. And I don't really want to brand her as food. Do you truly believe this man to be a commoner in disguise? The loudest among the onlookers exchanges glances. The woman's golden mask bobs as she offers a deep curtsy. Most certainly, your celestial highness. His plebeian nature is apparent to every self-respecting aristocrat. The woman is not lying, but neither is she being completely candid. The way she looks at the accused speaks of an old, inappeased hatred, the kind one shows to one's true enemy. The man is a noble. Why are you so intent on painting him as otherwise? The lady in the golden mask clears her throat. There is not a word of a lie in what we have said. This travesty of a nobleman was granted his privilege less than 100 years ago. A family of upstarts who have elevated themselves through peddlery. I don't know why that word made me struggle. For any true-born noble, he is no different from a masquerading peasant. A tired sigh escapes Abelard's chest. The Tsar has more in common with Dargonus than I first thought. I am ready to brand the imposter. The nobles around you hold their breath as they try to read the direction of your gaze. Hand the data brand to the servant. I call on this young woman to make the decision in my stead. Interesting. Place the data brand on the woman in the golden mask. She's apparently a high noble who wants the man in the jacket taken down. He is apparently actually a noble. And the young woman in a fine dress is the servant. If I have that all correct in my head. Yeah, finely dressed woman. I'm a commoner. So we could correctly brand the commoner. We could do what the noble, the most noblest, one who's been a noble longer, what she wants. I'm gonna give it to the servant. I'm curious to see how she'll handle it. The fact that her master, who she just spoke up for, just turned on her, feels real bad. I call on this young woman to make the decision in my stead. The young woman freezes and squeaks out, I obey my lord's will. Her voice suddenly calms. I know this man well and can dispel all your doubts. You notice the old man breathe a sigh of relief when the data brand is put into her hands. This is my former house servant, Timo, dressed as a noble. He is good, but he could never fool the true nobility. The young woman deftly marks the man, who is frozen in horror, and pushes the data brand back into your hand. Vengeful sparks play in her eyes. The woman in the golden mask graces her with a patronizing nod. Wait. So, she, who said that she's a servant and this man in the jacket is her master, has now just said, actually, he is a servant dressed as a noble. So was she lying about being a servant? And she was actually the nobility because no one else is calling her out on it, and even the woman in the golden mask graces her with a patronizing nod? Or has she just decided to take out her master, who just betrayed her, in the hopes that she herself can move up in standing from being a servant? She's lying now as revenge. That seems to be the logical statement. But this planet is terrible. But I guess we have made our choice there. So, man in jacket, you've been marked.
I'll lay claim to the
We're looking for people with names, not just the Thessarians. That's what I was missing at first. They're not going to be back there. Are they really going to be back down here, though? I assume they'd all be up at the festivities. Unless after that one group now, more people are going to suddenly have names. If we look at the map. I don't know who Editka is. Man with scissors. I can't see what the two names are, but yes, there's a group down here, apparently, that have names. Man with scissors and frightened noble. So you guys are probably the next group. In the wavering torchlight, you see a glint of steel. One of the jacket-clad young men is pressing a blade against the other's ribs. A mask lies discarded at the attacker's feet. Noticing you, the trembling victim cries out, "Your Highness, save me!" Do not interfere, outsider. This man deserves to be punished, along with all of Thessar's rotten elite. They see people as just things to be worn. Let him look me in the eye and find out what it feels like to be cut to pieces. You realize that the weapon pressed against the victim's body is none other than a pair of expertly sharpened tailor scissors. Solomon casts an indifferent glance at the pair. Local folk and their strange amusements, they're not worth our time. What's going on here? The victim sucks in a ragged breath. He's a tailor from the lower city. He's gone mad. He thinks I'm wearing the face of his brother, but my valet. The attacker visibly loses his cool. Admit it, you killed him and took his face so you could wear it instead of a costume. I haven't heard from my brother in a moon life. Blackness has utterly enshrouded this man. See, if Cassia had just told us who was guilty because she can see things, that would make this way easier. Blackness has utterly enshrouded this man. How can one dispense righteous punishment in such blinding darkness? Cassia shudders and looks away. Examine the victim's face. The noble lord's features are stretched and distorted. The edges of his neck, forehead, and cheeks are fastened at the sides with fine gold thread, so he is wearing a face. Peering into the noble's face, you realize that the stretched skin is his own. Oh. You see no scars or stitches. It appears that this is merely his way of improving his looks and imitating people of higher standing. Okay. So it's stretched and fastened with gold thread, but it's not actually... There's no scars or stitches showing that it's clearly his own skin and he's just stretched it to match the trend. Intervene and free the victim. You captured the scissors and deftly plunged them into the attacker's knee. Oh, that was not what I was thinking I was doing. Sensing his tormentor's grip weakening, the victim slips free and hides behind you. This madman bribed the guards so they would ignore my cries. I'm sure they'll be singing a different tune when they find out the Celestial Lord had to intervene personally. Tell me about Thessar's rotten elite. They're parasites. They tear whoever they want into pieces. These scum squeeze into a person's skin like it's a suit that's 2 sizes too small, splitting the seams in the process. The vigilante stares at you without blinking, his eyes glassy. Skin suits and splitting seams? Preposterous. Your brother was rewarded for his talents with the best assignment he could hope for. Maybe he just decided he wanted nothing to do with you anymore. The nobleman's voice cracks. He is on the verge of tears. Your Celestial Highness, if such were your will, you could send servants to the dressmaker this very moment and find this man's brother alive and well. His words are soaked in gray, with flashes of copper desperation breaking through, but out of the swampy muck of deceit, I see nothing. Okay. This man has never undergone the local facial replacement procedure. He is wearing his own face. Do not be deceived. Look closer. The scoundrel is simply hiding his stitches. He thinks he can trick an expert tailor, but it's a wasted effort. Tell me about this valet. The nobleman's eyes his attacker fearfully. It's very simple, Your Celestial Highness. His younger brother has a way with clothes. I noticed him when I was looking for new servants, and I sent the boy to apprentice under a renowned dressmaker in the upper quarters. I thought I would make him my valet, you see, but then this fool decided that I took his brother, not because of his talent, but to use him for my rejuvenation. Why would I even need a new face? I haven't even worn out my own yet. Place the imposter's brand on the vigilante or the victim. Off with you, Taylor, and ensure I never set eyes on you again. So, if we're trying to find the servants, I'm wondering if this is his own face and his face matches the brother. Is this the brother who, for whatever reason, feels he has to hide that fact? Which means you are a servant. I guess, am I wanting to play along with their games and correctly mark all the servants? I mean, I've already failed at that. So... I don't know. My assumption currently is that this guy is, in fact, the brother. But he's been away a month playing the role of a noble. Or maybe he was given nobility. Or something. And because his fate has changed, his destiny has changed, he now can't associate with his brother. I don't know. I think everyone in this whole city is culpable of doing terrible things to each other, and they're all guilty. And the whole place needs to burn. Or at least heavily change. Although the only reason we believe that it's his brother's face is because he said so. If he's lying about that, and this is just a noble with a random face, then maybe he's guilty. And the fact that he's a tailor means he's a servant already. I don't know. I'm gonna... I hate this. There's no right answers. Both of them are potentially questionable. And I don't want to mark the wrong person because I am worried that there'll actually be, you know, consequences. But I guess we know the vigilante is a lowborn. The fact that he's attacking with sharpened scissors rather than a proper weapon. This guy may be his brother, who is a servant. I don't know. I'm going to brand the vigilante. Also, vigilantism isn't great. Not a single muscle twitches on the attacker's face. Play your games all you want. My mission will not change. Thank you for intervening, Your Celestial Highness. The nobleman lays his hand on his heart and bows low to you. As soon as you step aside, guards barrel toward the scene.
Follow my lead.
Okay. Who is next? No one with names here. We're back to the start. Alright. Did you guys show up before when we were walking around? The young priest and someone else? I want to say that those are the ones who were trying to give us the cogitator.
New challenge for me?
Without knowing what they were talking about. Did we talk to you, Evitka? The young noblewoman's hair is disheveled, her bodice stained with grime, and her mask pushed clumsily on top of her head, holding her skirt high. She is trying her hardest to fight her way through the guards blocking the door. "Just let me go, please, for throne's sake," she exclaims when the guard yet again push her aside. The woman notices you and attempts something resembling a curtsy, but stumbles and falls to her knees. "I'm done. I just can't take it anymore. You're a celestial lord, aren't you?" Yes I am, but you do not look much like a noble lady." "Indeed, remember my face, peasant." Say nothing. "Yes I am, but you do not look much like a noble lady." "I'm Editka, your graciousness. I'm not a noble, not one bit. I just do the laundry and bleach the linens. I've never mixed in high society in my life. Forgive a fool, your graciousness." Why are you telling me this? According to the rules, you are meant to pose as a noble. Then you get a reward. Why are you trying to escape? Why are you participating in the masquerade in the first place? I assume they weren't given a choice. According to the rules, you're meant to pose as noble, then you get a reward. But I don't want no reward, my lord. I want to go back home. The woman hangs her head and clutches the lace frills on her dress. Her breathing stutters as she is racked with silent sobs. Why are you trying to escape? I want to get away before they start putting those brands on us. For the tricksters. I'm no the kind of trickster, can't you see? I couldn't fool a Grox. And why are you participating in this masquerade in the first place? I'm wondering what they do with those branded. I'm guessing it's gonna be something terrible that I'm gonna feel bad about. Why are you participating in the masquerade in the first place? It's not like they asked me nicely, your graciousness. They grabbed me, shoved me in this dress, and threw me in here. Nobody here was asked, but I don't want to be anybody's toy. I have 3 boys and girls. We starch our lords and ladies' undergarments, and we work our fingers to the bone just to get enough scraps for the day. She shows you her calloused hands, mottled red from chemical burns. So what should I do with you? Gripping the frills of her fabulous dress in her coarse, white-knuckled hands, the woman looks up at you. Please, your graciousness, by the god emperor, just let me leave. Nobody who gets put in one of these get-ups ever comes back. If I stay, I won't see my home again. I just know it. I haven't done anything wrong. No one ever comes back. What's that supposed to mean? Just that, your graciousness. It doesn't matter if you get branded or not. Once the hunt is over, you're gone. This place is like a Grox pit. There's no way back. But I want to live. I want to be useful. Please, please, let me go home. You really don't look like an imposter at all. Guards, let her go. Lacking the courage to object to your demand, the guards reluctantly step aside. The woman turns to look back at you. You see wet trails on her guileless face. Thank you, Celestial Lord. You sweetheart. I'll never forget your kindness. She bows low and vanishes into the darkness. Well, that's one less imposter we're going to find, which is fine.
It's about time.
And yeah, we've got the young priest. An old priest. Are you the ones that were trying to give me the cogitator? The 2 men in clergy robes are bickering loudly. The older one of the pair is eating with great appetite. The younger one watches him in disgust. Your overindulgence is pure hypocrisy. A true servant of the faith would have abstained. The old priest shoots his companion a glance over the plate. A true servant of the faith must keep his strength up so that he may offer the God Emperor not just words, but deeds as well. The young man flushes when he notices your gaze. Celestial Lord, how fortunate is your arrival. Only you can solve this conundrum and decide which of us is the true clergyman of noble birth and which is the arrogant imposter. I guess we'll start with a perception. 45% is terrible. Failed. Apart from their age, the 2 men before you look fairly similar. All servants of the ecclesiarchy are as one in their indomitable faith. I need to ask you a few questions first in order to identify the imposter. The old priest gives you a reserved nod. Meanwhile, the younger one turns his entire body to face you, like a student being evaluated. What would you say is the role of knowledge in the Imperium? What awaits the Emperor's servants after death? By what name are the warriors born from the blood of the Emperor's sons known? The question is, how well is any of this information known on this feudal world? I mean, it still should be known. but their religious views are clearly skewed, so I have limited hope. What would you say is the role of knowledge in the Imperium? There are no barriers to learning the word of the Emperor and to conquering all that he has given unto us. Have you read the manuscripts of the scribe Gregorius Fault? I hear he has left his craft behind now, but his research shines on with the light of true worship. Knowledge depraves the soul, as does reading letters that are not meant to be read. The old priest furrows his brow at the young man's passionate words. I mean, definitely he's speaking the doctrines that they are teaching on the world, because Gregorius Fault is the one who was all about changing his fate. I guess I don't actually know the Imperium's view on knowledge for the common folk, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is, in fact, don't do it. You know, leave it to the tech priests. Cassius shakes her head. Their judgment are like the two sides of a single coin. There is value in both, but neither one constitutes the whole. What awaits the Emperor's servant after death? Both priests ponder the question for a while. The older is the first to speak up. Should they serve faithfully, the Emperor will preserve their souls in his halls. The young priest gives you a broad and sincere smile. It is customary on Thessera to believe in sacred reincarnation. Thus, the worthy may serve the Emperor for all eternity. Or Imperium test. You have encountered many variations of the God Emperor's cult in your time, but never have you heard of reincarnation after death. A religious teaching such as this seems strange and exotic, even for a nondescript, half-forgotten planet like Thessera. By what name are the warriors born from the blood of the Emperor's sons known? The heralds of the Celestial Master, gods among men. The young preacher's eyes are alight with awe. The Emperor's angels, they descend upon the land to smite down his enemies. You see respect in the old man's eyes and fear. Okay, so he definitely is preaching things that fit more with what we expect of normal Imperial doctrine. This guy is preaching Thessera doctrine. And so even if one of them is a servant rather than a normal priest, their doctrine is the one I want to see go. I'm ready to pass my verdict. The priests look at you with reserved curiosity and apprehension. Yeah, we're going to place the brand on the young priest. The smile vanishes from the young man's face. He gasps indignantly. Why? Well, yes, I did skip the lectorium once or twice, it's true, but I'm still a proper noble, I swear it on my honor. I mean, you might be, but you also worship the Thessera faith that I'm not as cool with. So that's 4 that we've interacted with. We didn't brand one of them, so we're not going to get the full result. Yeah, all that's left is to inform Rualdo and bring the hunt to a close. Alright then, let's go tell Rualdo that we found imposters. I'm gonna toss down a save first, just in case something happens. Down, Gara. Bad beast. Very bad. I apologize, Your Celestial Highness. How is your imposter hunt going? Gara? My darling pet. She is guarding the Imperiuses every once in a while. She gets an allowance in the form of Alcedont bones. What has it done wrong? She almost ripped off my finger along with a slice of Alcedont. It's my fault for forgetting their predators, albeit domesticated ones. You reduced a beast born to hunt and kill to a domesticated pet, without purpose and discipline. Both man and animal alike are destined for degradation. Solomon nods at Glado, who is completely unfazed by the multitude of delicacies. See, this is a level of obedience and dignity we should strive for. You see a beast devoid of free will as an example to follow? All I see is a broken spirit bound in the chains of cruelty. What if you too are an imposter, Rualdo? Your Celestial Highness, how can you say such a thing? I have not even seen a low-born village up close, and they are cowering down there, thank the gods Emperor. The governor empties another goblet brought to him by the servants. Fetch us more amsec. Now, what are you looking at? Go, go. Useless layabouts. They say people go missing after the imposter hunt. What do you make of this? Your Celestial Highness must have been listening to a lot of gossip. Who cares what the where the rabble goes afterward. However, I can assure you that the victors are often sent into my personal service. We call it the highest favor, and today it will be up to you to choose whom it should be bestowed upon. The governor's dragging out his words as if he is not entirely sure of them himself, or it is not telling you something. Part of me wishes I could brand the governor, just to see what he does about it. And the fool. I've concluded my search. Delightful. I will immediately summon the court for a final celebration of hypocrisy. And who knows, perhaps today one of the imposters will be lucky enough to earn your favor. Straining to add a note of gravity to his voice, the governor proclaims, "Most radiant ladies and noble lords, I hereby declare the imposter hunt officially over." The crowd responds with an uproarious cheers. The participants of our masquerade already stand before you. Did you guess correctly? Did you expose them all? Please don your oculars and have a good look. Grotto turns to you and whispers conspiratorially, "Not one noble was permitted to hunt the imposters this time, my lord. Still, knowing their penchant for such games, I do suspect that they tried to make their guesses anyway, quietly among themselves. All these imposters have been found out by none other than our celestial guest, Ignatius von Valentius. An unsurpassable show, your celestial highness. Bravo, bravo. Maeve, present our gift." You hear the fool's voice from somewhere among the crowd. "A noble torso, branded at the behest of the rogue trader himself. Oh, what bitter irony. My standing ovation to you." You branded a real noble as an imposter. Well, it happens. We get the Certium Mask. Wearer gains +1 psi rating, ooh, and +15 persuasion. If Perils of the Warp is triggered and a demon is summoned, that demon attacks the closest to it non-demon target. I mean, sure, but +1 psi rating. Your Celestial Highness, as an honored guest of Thesara, would you like to say a few words of guidance to our beautiful world? Just no. Solomon, perhaps you have something to say. Give the Seneschal a look, Abelard. We're united in our faith and in our common mission to bring about humanity's victorious future. May you all toil for the indestructible fortress of the Imperium and wish for no other life, for the God Emperor is the one true path through the darkness of the universe. Glory to the Emperor. It's a good answer. May you be each other's pillars of support. We have achieved all we strive for, and we shall prevail. But only together can we do so, for there is no greater force in existence than our unity. Alright. When my ship carries me between the stars, cutting through the endless void, I ask myself what the new day might bring, and then I find myself standing up to my nose in filth among a gaggle of morons who think that a cogitator is a wind-up gewgaw. You want to hear my wishes? Well, I wish to be off this planet as soon as possible. The end. Very rude. Solomon, perhaps you have something to say. I am quite good at saying the word guilty. Would that satisfy you? There's an awkward pause. The governor smiles nervously. I understand, your celestial highness. All this talking and ceremony and protocol, it's enough to knock anyone off their feet. But believe me when I say that we are nearing the end. And now, good lords and ladies, the time has come to make the fateful decisions. There is not but one true reward, the highest favor that any branded imposter desires. Please, your celestial highness, tell us, is there among these people one worthy of the rogue trader's favor? What is the highest favor, Raldo? Is it part of the rules of the game? That is correct, your celestial highness. Whomever you grant your favor will be showered with all manner of honors and go to serve in the governor's palace. Certimius, I think. Since you people love prattling about destiny and so much, we will let fate choose. Point at one of the branded imposters at random. Certimius, you are free to go. Because he seemed like the only decent one out of the lot. Thank you, your celestial highness. The man gives you a curt nod. then turns with confidence and heads towards the castle. Laughter? You hear venomous laughter from among the crowd and recognize Bluff's voice. As the square drowns in the clamor and applause of gawkers who were spectating the game, you look around for the court fool, but cannot spot him anywhere. Such is His Celestial Highness's brilliant decision, which for some may have been fateful indeed. And finally, the hour you have all been waiting for, the concluding part of our conclusion, the Great Feast. The crowd's patience is worn thin. Filling his lungs, the governor shouts out, "Lacerax's dinner is served!" The cyber Lacerax's lumens glow blood red. Before the condemned can even scream, the beasts pounce on their prey with hungry snarls. Yeah.
I've been branded. He tricks me. Gotta stop! I'm the master. Maeve, help! Maeve, I'm sorry.
The Emperor is with us!
So, Bluff branded the governor. Maeve thought Bluff was her brother. My guess is that the governor was actually her brother, based on that little scene there. But ultimately, that all played out. I don't think there was anything we could have done to really change it. But it does feel slightly bad, because she seems like a decent person, so I feel slightly bad that her brother, assuming that's the case, got killed. So did we just have the 4 of them? Wow, this is going to be a quick fight. I mean, unless they're crazy powerful. Let's start the battle. Alright, Gar is probably... yeah. So the others are all 400 health. Gar is 550, so he is special in some way. Short circuit. Creature deals shock damage to each target in 2-cell radius. Enemies in a 3-cell radius around the familiar suffer a -5 penalty to characteristics. I don't know. Reject the flesh, that's good. When its wounds drop below 5% of its maximum wounds, it immediately gains an extra turn, runs to its last attacker, and attacks them. Ignores attacks of opportunity. Its agility, strength, and weapon skill are significantly increased. All negative effects are removed. And its wounds cannot be reduced to 0. Performing the final attack, the creature immediately dies. So it's going to, at some point, charge someone and get a final attack in. Do they all have that? Yes. Well, that's bad news. Also, I'm not really thrilled about standing directly in front of all of them, but oh well. We'll do the usual.
I am a navigator.
Get some buffs going on Ignatius. Then actually we'll no, let's give him his turn.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Light ourselves on fire as always. Then run and gun. So I'm not doing orchestrate flames. I'm hoping that doesn't come back to bite me. Let's do molten beam because I can hit 3 of them with where they're at, which feels really good to me.
Nothing I can't do. Nothing of value has been lost.
Okay. I was thinking that they would get an attack on me, and they did not. Alright. Let's move Cassie over here, and then can we just blast them a bunch with her third eye and miss everyone else?
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Ideally, I'm hoping that I can get her to cross that threshold.
If I may.
There we go.
These ruby flashes are choking me.
Then Ignatius gets another turn.
In colors.
I think I'll just go with Melta's so it does more damage, because hopefully we can kill it before it gets that free extra turn that it's supposed to get.
Already done. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Perfect. What happened was no accident, and if my suspicions are correct, the arbitrator looks at his palm thoughtfully, then holds it out to his cybermastiff. Glado, analyze. The dog's visor shimmers as it scans his skin with a mesh of rays. Finally, there is a metallic click and the descending hum of cooling servomotors. The Proctor's augmetics respond with a soft buzz. A data brand. The court fool put it on me when he shook my hand. Then the Laceraxes attacked everyone who had been marked. However, the beasts were not at all eager to tear you apart, Rogue Trader. It appears you are wanted alive, but without my protection. Probably one of them was hoping that if we survived, they could take our face and become the new Rogue Trader. Oh God, Emperor. Maeve presses her hands to her chest in the sign of the Aquila. Her lips whisper a prayer. Forgive and protect his soul. Forgive and protect. Are you going to tell us the truth of what's been going on here now? Lying nearby is the lifeless body of Lacerax number 4, which you released from its cage. Its fur is clumped and sticky with blood. Its viscous eyes glazed over. Giving its own life to protect another was a stunningly human act for a beast. Close its eyes, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. We'll start there. We'll work our way down asking the questions. One with the damaged implants. Perhaps they were the reason the beast defied the order that the rest of its pack followed, to destroy all bearers of the data brands. Or maybe, Solomon looks pensive as he straightens Glado's collar, maybe it was a fine animal that was unlucky enough to have bad masters. This is the first creature I've met on Thessar that has been worthy of respect. My Lord Judicator is fond of animals, is he not? I never would have thought you had a kind side like that. Maeve's smile is gentle and sad. For the first time ever, she looks at Solomon without fear. Solomon casts a heavy glance at the young woman. Or maybe I just cannot stand people. Rollo mentioned being branded before he died. Can you scan him too, Solomon? At his master's command, Glado directs his scan rays at the dead man's severed hand, which has somehow avoided being reduced to shreds along with the rest of the body. The Cybermaster's augmetics emit a warning signal. Rollo was branded too. He couldn't have known, or else he would not have doomed himself like that. I assume this is likewise the work of the buffoon. The only question is whether he was acting of his own accord, or at the behest of someone more important. Whose soul are you praying for, Maeve? My brother's, my lord. I had a feeling he wasn't acting himself lately. If I'd known he had fallen in with scoundrels, I would have found them and strangled them with my own hands. What reason could your brother have to want to get an arbitrator's blood on his hands? It's a mystery to me too, my celestial lord. I think about it, and I can't even imagine why. But lately it's like he's not himself. He keeps muttering these awful rhymes about blood and fate, and it's like he's waiting for something, but I just can't understand what. Rollo called your name before he died. I have no idea what's going on. I'm so confused. Maeve stares at Rollo's mauled corpse with unblinking eyes. Is this just a horrible nightmare? Could it be I'm just dreaming? For a second there I thought, no, I'm sorry, it's impossible. You thought what? That your brother was the governor? Calling it. I thought it was my brother calling my name, not Lord Geraldo, but Dane wasn't there, meaning I just imagined it in my fright. You think back to Geraldo's last moments, it is hard to tell for certain, but it really did seem as though his voice had changed, that it sounded younger and less strained, as if he had cast off a mask. So who is to be considered the governor now? If only I knew, my celestial lord. If only I knew. Maeve's glistening eyes are full of shock. How do I know I can trust you, Maeve? Are you actually shocked, or is this part of the act as well? How do I know I can trust you, Maeve? I swear by the Emperor himself, I am unblemished before you in spirit and thought. That is what a cornered heretic would swear to try and save their life. But I really had nothing to do with any of it, my lord. All I was told to do was entertain our celestial guests and chaperone them to the castle for talks. And instead, there's just gore and death everywhere. I had to have you executed on the spot before you stab me in the back. Take us to the castle, or I need to look around. I'm going to look around first before we go to the castle. I need to take a look around. As you wish, my celestial lord. I'm still choosing to trust her. That may end up coming back to cost us, but I suspect not overly much. I doubt there's a lot that she herself can do. The wearer ends their turn with any adjacent familiar. The familiar regains 6 wounds. And then a Servo Skull Swarm. Let's collect those. If we go to my inventory, what am I wearing as a helmet? Where psi rating is increased by 1 against demons and for each rank of dogmatic. Okay. So this is poorly phrased. +1 against demons and for each rank of dogmatic. Sounds like... I mean, I assumed it was just a huge bonus against demons. But no, it's a +1 against demons, and then always +1 for each rank of dogmatic, which is meaning we just always have a +5. Which is madness. So no, I'm not going to wear this one that gives me a +1. Let's see your cape. I'll give you this, because the ability to heal your pet is probably better. Now let's do level ups. Alright, we can't get willpower or agility. I mean, arguably ballistics, because theoretically I could use my gun on rare occasion, but I never do. Part of me is thinking toughness just to give us a bit more health, just in case. Realistically, willpower, that would be the one we want. And then skill-wise, or warp, I can't grab it, or awareness. I don't really care about any of the others. Demolition's my next highest. Part of me is thinking persuasion, even though it's low. It's low right now because of we've got a huge penalty to our fellowship, but it still isn't going to be great. But we do occasionally have to do persuasions on our own without our allies. So something to boost that a little bit probably isn't the worst choice. Better than raising demolition, where that never shows up in places where I can't use my allies. So, yeah. Abelard. Weapon skill and strength you already have, so toughness is the next one that you would use. And then you've already got athletics and crowds, which are your 2 main skills. So we'll go with Medicae, because that's something that occasionally you have to use. Your fellowship and willpower we can't use. So, perception. And then, of your primary skills, looks like coercion is your lowest. Still can't believe you got an awareness of 157 and Irliet beat you out on that check. I'll need to see what hers is. But, yes, in this case, we'll go with coercion. Let's see, Irliet, 157... 162. I don't know why Irliet made that awareness check. Unless Cassia's awareness has gone up by leveling up. Or something. Alright. Intelligence, weapon skill, probably strength. Just so you do a bit more damage. Yeah. And then skill-wise, you got 191 in Lore Xenos? That is crazy. Probably logic. I mean, coercion and commerce are fairly high for him, but I'm assuming I have other people for those. Yeah, Cassia's great at both. So we'll go with logic. For you, perception and ballistics are good. Probably agility. Yeah. Can't raise your demolition, so then Lore Xenos or awareness? And I think Lore Xenos is primarily Pascal. Yeah, 191. You're not going to get anywhere close to that. Awareness, apparently, you're in the running for being the top of. So go for it. 167 versus 162. So Irliet is now back at the top in awareness. Solomon, you got your ballistics. What is next important for you? I guess I don't know your classes very well. So I don't know what is critical for you to have high stats in. So I could just make him tankier. But he's got a high fellowship, and part of me wonders if that's important for his stuff. Or then you have agility to try and reduce enemies' dodge or whatever, so that he hits more. I'm gonna go fellowship and assume that that's part of your class, some of your abilities. I think it is. I just don't fully remember. I don't know. And then skill-wise, looks like coercion, demolition, and lore warp. Oh no, lore warp you've got a negative 160. Definitely not that. Coercion and demolition seem to be the ones we're focusing on with you. I go... Oh. Can't grab either of those. Then persuasion. Why not? In case we ever reach a circumstance where Cassie is not in the party. Okay, we can't loot any of them. And I don't know that there's going to be anything else going on. And everyone else is just having a grand old time. Alright, take me to the castle now. Yes, take us to the castle. I hear and obey, my celestial lord.